Hello and welcome back to another Fluke Friday. It's episode 21 and I actually don't have a Fluke this time. I have the APPA 203. And why is it in the Fluke Friday? Well, let's have a closer look. Well, and here it is. It is the APPA 203 or the APPA 203. In the UK it has also been sold under the Isotech brand. And then it was the IDM 203. The 201 is the simples version. It has 2000 counts. This one has 4000 counts. And there is also a 205 that also has true RMS. So that means this one does not have that. And it is a portable kit, but also a desk kit. And if you look at it, it is very flexible in its voltage. If you use it fixed in the desk, you can use it from 200 to 260, or you switch it over and then you can do from 90 all the way up to 130. So then you can use the normal plug here. If you want to use it portable, there is a battery below here. It is the 9-volt battery, or you use 6-pen lights, which also makes 9 volts. And it's actually a pretty nice looking meter. It reminds me a little bit of the Fluke 80 series, like an 87. And well, even the buttons might remind you of that. And even if we look at the backlight, it is this Fluke greenish. And then if we have a closer look on the buttons, we zoom in a little bit. This is looks a lot the same here. In this one here, we have here the min-max, we have here the min-max, and the buttons look a lot alike. Only if we have a look here at the hold button, but then I had my other Fluke meter here, the 787, and here I see that the hold button is again this. That looks a lot alike. And then I was thinking, wait, if we look at the older multimeters, we had, of course, in the 8000 series, you had the 8010, and then you have the accompanying handheld 8020. And then, of course, you had the, I think it was a cheaper series. I think it only was in the US. It's very rare to find them here in the Netherlands. But I found the D800 series, and that was also in the D800 and the D810. And then, of course, the one I had in my other Fluke Friday video, the 37, also portable. So, and then I was thinking, wait, let's compare a little bit more between the 37 and this one. Well, I don't have the 37 here. I sold mine already, but it has feet. And if we look in the top, we have this compartment that you also find in the 37. And also the battery compartment is there and the fuses are there, just like you find on the 37. And also we have a handle in the top. And then if we look at the other desktop multimeters that Fluke made, of course, before they joined with Philips, because later a lot of them became also from Philips. But we have the 45, for instance, and the 8800 series. And then when you start looking, did there ever exist a 38? No, there wasn't. And that 8 could be because it was in the 80 series also. So I thought, okay, maybe it fits. Let's buy this multimeter and have a closer look at it. APPA, it comes from Taiwan, and they make a lot of other brands, and I will get into that later. It is absolutely not a bad multimeter. The display updates twice a second, but the bar chart actually 20 times a second. So this is actually a bar chart that is useful. While Fluke always has the bar in the bottom, they have it here in the top. So let's play a little bit. Let's get the LBO2A out. So yeah, the plastic sometimes is broken. Here it's still there. Here it is broken. Here it is broken. But it still fits. So let's see. You see the scan is super fast. I like it. Fast sample. If I want to be very precise, of course I use my DMM Check Plus, but for flexible work like this also it has more voltages, so sometimes this is just nicer. So let's see if we can go to, you see how fast is the bar chart compared to about 4000 counts. Can we do that, or will it already switch? No, it switched already. But you see how fast the bar is already down. Can we do a bit more? No. Okay, quickly some resistance. Go to the ohms. Go to the ohms. We are now in overranging. That is a little bit weird. You would see usually OL or something, but here it just says 400. So in this setting, I think it is continuity testing. Yeah, it is by default in 400 ohms, but we can also set it to auto. And then it is 40 mega ohms. Well, but it switches quickly. I like that the bar chart is so fast. And as usual, the 1K is spot on, and that is the case with this one, but as we can see, also with this one. And we can even measure diodes and capacitors. So let's go to the diodes. 3 volts, I see. Right, you can read the voltage. 0.51. Fast. Let's see capacitors. For capacitors, I have the DMM Check Plus. The capacitors are not 1%, but we get a good idea of how I'm doing my ohms still. 100K, correct. 10K, and of course the 1K that should be spot on, and it is the 100 ohms. I would say that is close enough. Let's do some caps. We have here 1 nano. Puff, 1 nano, no problems here. It is jumping a little bit. I'm not sure if it is now dropping. Is it stable or? Yeah, okay. Maybe the value is a bit low. It's difficult to measure. If we go to 10. Okay. It also goes a little bit up and down, but we get a good idea of the value. $100. This is more stable, so it's really in the lower values that it starts to jump a little bit, and it could be my cables as well, but it is just very sensitive. I did not see this before. And 1 micro, so no problems here. We can also measure frequency. Here I need to go to AC. I think now it is in 100 Hertz, I think. So let's see. Now I am now in adapter mode. That is if you have an external power probe or anything. Now I am in frequency, and this is indeed 100 Hz. And if I switch over, this is 10K. Back to 100 Hz, and then we can also try to measure if it is true RMS or not. Well, we know it is not because it is the 203, but then we should see 5.53. Yeah, it is not a true RMS. Back to DC. Path. Okay, so all those options seems to work. Let's see if we can do current measurements. Let's go here first. It is standard in AC, so we switch over to DC. Milliamps and milliamps. Let's get this one again. We want milliamps. Well, let's start with 4. No, if I go this one a little bit lower and I go here. No, it's also blinking, so we don't have a circuit. So maybe the fuse blew. Let's try it then in a higher setting. No. Go to the amps. And now we have circuit. It stopped blinking, but the value is a bit low. But we have circuit. And yeah, 24, and we see here the 2. So probably the little fuse blew. I can't wait to open it to have a look if we can see if there are any Fluke components inside, or if they just once produced buttons for Fluke and they were still allowed to use them in other machines. But also the round corners and everything. This really looks like an 80 series. So I still hope to find some other components inside from Fluke, but I did some research and it would be, well, very far-fetched if it would be the case, because the Fluke is from the Danaher group and they have M-Probe, Keithley, Tektronix, while the APPA or APPA is actually from the MGL group. They have KPS, Mastek, Power Probe, and of course the APPA, which is sold in Europe under Isotech. I think they even do Benning and also Westward. But still, of course, we want to have a look inside. Well, famous compartment, like in the 37, they have probes. And well, the battery compartment, here we find the 9 volts. You can add a 9 volt battery, but it's a little bit stuck. But if you want more durable, of course we have this with pen lights, long lasting, and on the other side we have the fuses. Well, the fuses are behind this door, and they say here 1 amp 600 volts, and the other one is 15 amp 600 volts. And it seems that because it's those 600 volts fuses, it is probably that those big ones that Fluke also uses. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, it are those big ones. These are the expensive fuses. So let's see if that is indeed one of our problems, but I like to open it anyway. Well, when I was playing with it, I heard a noise and this nut came out. So I'm not sure if it is from this, but something is indeed loose. Yeah. It seems that it has never been opened because it was pretty stuck. Cluck. Okay. Long screws. Oh. I'm almost a little bit disappointed. It's very small. Some modifications were done. Very little transformer. Oh yeah, okay, clearly that is where the nut came from. It's supposed to be bolted to the back, and it is not. Okay, a little power supply. Very easy. I have here another. Yeah, just like the 37. When you remove the front, it is almost like you have a multimeter only put on this side. Yeah, I'm really getting flashbacks from the 37. Okay, whole front unit. Well, the fuses, well, we expect actually that the 1 amp is broken, this one. I hope it is. Let's quickly have a look. Continuity. Yeah. And indeed the fuse is broken. Well, these look a lot like the Fluke fuses. Only they have, I think, 600 millis, but it should be enough because this one is 4000 count, so that means on the higher setting it would be 400 millis. So the fuse from Fluke that are around 600 are good also, so I will put one of those in. It is open. Look at this switch. Yeah, now I think again. Could be a Fluke switch. The display is clearly different from how Fluke would done this, but it looks proper. I am looking, and it seems that we have an IC on the bottom right here, and there could be one here and one here. But the thing is, the switch that we have here is kind of stuck in between, with contacts on the top on this PCB and contacts on this PCB, and I'm just not willing to risk to take it completely apart, because when the switch moves or it just, yeah, no, I will put it back together after I have cleaned. So the front I put back together. It looks a lot better. Look at the display, fully shiny. The color also came back a little bit. The green comes now really out. You can read the letters better. Very nice. I replaced the fuse here. I looked here in the transformer that indeed needs to be fixed, but I also found that it is kind of dirty and here is a lot of rust. So I think I take it all apart and then we just clean it in the sink. So it's all bit together again. Oh, look at this. Shiny, shiny, shiny. And it's almost now the Fluke color. The transformer is again fixed, so no noise when you shake. The rust I try to polish out. I think most of it is gone. Looks also a lot better. And let's see if indeed that fuse fixed the problem or not. Should be. Let's go to the 40 milliamps. Oh wow, look at that display. It is so bright again. I like it. 3 milliamps. We can go even lower. Here, 3, 4, spot on. And we can go even lower on this setting. Look at that, how many digits we have here. Then how fast the bar chart is. Pretty cool. Look at that. I think it fits perfectly together. It's a shame they never made this one. That was it, the APPA 203. It is not a Fluke, but it would have been great if it was one. The 87, the whole 80 series is very popular, still is. And who knows, if they made this one, it would have been just as a big success. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time.